Hello again. If you have already been here to my small YouTube channel, YouTube Knitting Podcast, welcome to you if this is the first time. My name is Isabelle. I'm knitting from France. I have 3 sons. I have 3 cats. Some say it's related. Sometimes my cats interrupt. And I'm trying to bring you 1 podcast every week, every other week about my knitting adventures, and I have a playlist where I collect all these videos together, and every other week, as this week, the woolly news that have caught my eye and caught my attention. I'm French. I used to live in the United States and I was very fluent in English, but that was 30 years ago. So this is why I'm trying to bring you this podcast in English so that it's an opportunity for me to practice my talking, because my talking is all gone and I miss my English. So if this sounds good to you, please stay tuned and maybe subscribe to my channel so that you are notified whenever I post a new video. So this week, for the news that have caught my attention, I'm not gonna talk much about 2 of the most biggest elephants in the yarn community and fiber community room. I'm talking first, they are of equal importance, of what happened in the Woolen Ship Festival in Rhinebeck, I think it's in New York State or upper New York, in the United States. That was last weekend. I did enjoy very much following everybody who's been there with their Instagram stories, Instagram posts, and I'm waiting to see some very interesting YouTube podcasts too about Rhinebeck. As a way to participate myself, I knitted the half and half triangle wrap as part of the CAL that Jack Knits had going on for the whole year. So this is my first. I have half of the wool for my second that I will knit outside of the CAL, but I guess I will still use the hashtag. They said they would keep it live to continue to see what people are doing with it. So I mixed very bright orange, very vitaminic, full of vitamins, colorway with a more neutral colorway, so that I can wear it, either side. That's the point of the half and wrap from Pearl Soho. Their pattern is a free pattern from them, from Pearl Soho. So as a tribute to Rhinebeck and what was going on with this CAL, where everyone who were there and had participated to the CAL from Jack's Knits gathered, and we had lovely posts on Instagram and lovely videos made where everyone was wearing their wrap, all in different colors. That some in a way shows who you are with the colors you choose. So that's one way for me to participate into that. But I wasn't there. I may never be able to go to Rhinebeck. But anyway, maybe one day I will. I do not know. But anyway, this is my way to participate. The second big elephant in the room, and I hope he's not gonna be offended, is the Stephen West shawlography mystery CAL that is going on right now. I enjoy also very much seeing everyone posting pictures and videos about their work, the way they chose the colors, what the different clues. As I'm filming, it's the second clue has been released, so people are knitting with the second clue. I just saw this morning from Tribal Yarn. Maybe I'll take a picture. I don't know, because it could be a spoiler, or I will link down below where I saw her picture of her own shawlography, which is from Tribal Yarn. It's very monochromatic, and she said it's more a texture adventure for her than a color adventure. I like very much what she does. I think she has a very good eye to choose colors and foresee what knitting is going to be, how colors are going to match to another. I liked very much what she did last year with the Slip Stravaganza, and I have to admit or point out that I have the yarn quantity for me to knit the Slip Stravaganza, and I decided to knit it after I saw hers. So I liked very much her color inspiration, so I sort of got the same colors, the same range of colors, and the same association to knit one. I haven't had any time for now to knit the shawl itself. It's waiting for my time, and so this is the second. And I have to cough. Sorry, I had to cough. As we say in French, I had a cat in my throat that I need to to expel. The cat has nothing to do in people's throats. Anyway, the shawlography is everywhere, and I'm not participating because right now I have a lot of things to do to knit, and I have Christmas presents to knit, so I prefer to dedicate my time to my own knitting. But maybe one day I will participate to one of Stephen West's mystery cals. It's very funny. There is a big community around it. It's very pleasant to see that community interact through his own, what he's offering. And he sells the shawl pattern is for sale, but he makes videos to explain how everything is done. I think it's a very interesting way to share his work and his ideas, and anyway, that's giving everyone the opportunity to feel a bit more to belong to this community. So now that these two big subjects that are currently on the news, on the fiber news for these past and upcoming weeks, I'm going to talk about what I have seen myself. So the first news I want to talk about is Trellis, once again, has a mystery box for Christmas. So if you remember, I knitted her the previous shawl that she released as a mystery box. So she dyed and provided the yarn, and Maria provided the pattern. This time around, and I love very much the Fresh Peonies shawl. So the mystery box was for her birthday last summer. This time around, the mood board she released is all murky greens and a very soft coral and a mustardy and a darker brown, darker green colors. It's not my own, it's not my own comfort zone, but once again, I chose to trust her. So she will release the mystery box. I will write it down because I did not write it in my notes. But she will release it. It's up now. You can subscribe or pre-sale. It's a pre-order, and she will release it. I think it's during November. With the pattern, I do not recall once again who is gonna provide the pattern this time around. It's gonna be a shawl again. So I decided to trust her and pre-order the box. And because, you know, she's pushing my own boundaries, and I like that. I like her inspiration. The picture, I think, caught my attention because it reminds me, this is one of my safe place in the Pyrenees. I have two main safe places where I go to in my head whenever I need to. One of them is it's a hike trail, but you have a cover of trees, and it's like a tunnel of green, because, you know, when it's the summertime, you have all the green leaves and a bright light, but the tunnel is dark, and then it's a very long tunnel, and at the end you have the small opening with a light whenever this part of the hike and the trees and the along, you know, near the hike stop and go to the open in the mountain valley. And it's one of my safe places because whenever you're in the dark, there is always light at the end, and it's one of the ways for me to remind me of that. And the pictures she posted is sort of reminding me of that, a tunnel of, you know, darker green. It's not the summertime, it's not the green of the summertime, it's more green of the fall or the winter time, with light at the end of this green tunnel from, I think there are trees or some kind of, you know, vegetable. So I think that's what caught my eye, because it echoed inside of me. It's one of my safe places to be. So that's why I decided, okay, I'm gonna trust her again, and I'm gonna get her box. So I'm waiting on that, and I will show you whenever I get it, and whenever she posts on her Instagram all the clues, or maybe not clues, but at least she shows it so that I do not disclose anything. So that was my first news. The second one is from Rerum Natura. They have released an avalanche of new colorways for Albertine, and Penelope, two of their yarn bases. All the colors are more beautiful than the others. They have all of them on their blog. They also had a whole series on their Instagram, and the colors are very, very nice, and it goes from very cold blue, grays, purples to warmer browns, chocolate, neutrals, oats, and things like that. This color palette is very, very nice, very inspiring, and it should fit everyone, so that you can find your own colors in this palette. They and the yarn is quite affordable, I think, because they are all environmental friendly, and you know, I support all their environment. I try to support all their environment and what they are. My second half wrap shawl, is gonna be from with the yarn. I have one half of the yarn. I've been waiting for over a year now for the second color that has been out of stock because of the pandemic and the yarn suppliers and everything. So maybe now I exchange with them, maybe they will have it at the end of this year or early 2022. But anyway, I'm just waiting, and whenever I will have the second yarn quantity for the second half, I will cast it on and I will knit it. But anyway, I like what they do very much. I discovered them thanks to internet and thanks to all of you who have been talking about them. They are in France, so I hope one day I will go to visit. And you know, I just bought a sweater quantity of Gilead, so that's bigger yarn than Albertine and Penelope. Anyway, I got the Gilead in a very light gray, which is called Bouleau. Bouleau is a tree, you know, that has these white parts on the trunk. I will try to find the English name for it, because I'm not sure I recall I looked for it, but I forgot. But anyway, it's a very light and cold gray, and I will make a sweater, and I will talk about it later on. But I had that pattern in mind for a very long time, and the Bouleau colorway was not available. It just came up, so I bought the sweater quantity from them. Okay, so that's it for now for yarn and yarn stores. We're going to move to some books. Once again, Wool and Pine have released two very interesting books. So you can either get the printed version from their site, and with the printed version you get a code to download the ebook, or you can buy the ebook online, either from their site or from Ravelry, if you can use Ravelry. And these two books were, you know, very, very inspiring to me. The first one is their patterns, their most successful patterns that they have downsized for children. So for all of you who have small children in their environment, whether their own small children or their great grandchildren, I think it's a very, very funny book to have, you know, mini version of all the most famous patterns. Unfortunately, my own children are grown up but do not have children of their own right now. But I'm not excluding I would, you know, just need a couple of their patterns for future babies or babies from my colleagues or everything, because I just enjoy very much seeing the pictures of the children with these very famous patterns that they have released. So they go up to 12 years old. So, you know, it can fit a lot of, it spans quite a large age span. So, you know, you can need that for many children of your environment. And I really like the Sorel Mini because I knitted the summer sorrel for myself. The pattern, when the regular sorrel or the original sorrel was released, I got the pattern, I got the book and the pattern because I thought, you know, I want to knit that. I knitted the summer sorrel and I have the sweater quantity for the original sorrel I got from La Bien-Aimée. But anyway, the Sorel Mini was very funny for me to see, and I think, you know, this is something I would like to knit at one point. The second book, it's book 2, the first book I have with a sorrel pattern in it, and other patterns I will, and the summer sorrel, and other patterns I will probably knit at some point. So that was the book 1. The book 2 that they released is a book of a green collection. They have 6 patterns. I did not say the mini collection has 7 patterns. The green collection has 6 patterns, and I really like very much what Wool and Pine does, because they have all, it's a very inclusive as sizes, regarding sizes. They are very size inclusive, and it's not that, you see more and more now, but it's not that common that you have very size inclusive patterns. And the green collection is inspired by the green vibes of their own environment in the northwest of the United States, or maybe Canada, but I think it's they say the Northwest Pacific Forest. So all the patterns are knitted in these green tones. It's very beautiful. I like the green colorway, even though I do not wear much, but I like very much having green around me. And just looking at the pattern is making me happy, because I think their colors are really, really inspiring, and the patterns, of course, are very beautiful. And I may get the book. I haven't done it already because I have spent a lot of money on yarn lately. I adopted the ship. I got several sweaters quantities of yarn recently. I got yarn from my Christmas presents. So for now I'm trying to slow down on my knitting expenses, but I think I will buy the book just to support them, even though I do not have one of their pattern in mind to be knitting or casting on, but I think I will get it next month, because it's a very interesting universe. I like what they do very much. So if we continue on books, I have two other news I want to talk about. 22 minutes, it's okay. First is that Len magazine has open submission calls for Len number 14. So it will come out next summertime. So they have released guidelines and a mood board on Pinterest with some kind of inspirations. And they want to focus the issue number 14 around the northern summer lights that they have in northern Europe. Whenever the day is very, very long, it's not a 12-hour span, but at 10 or midnight, it's still, the sky is still clear, and the sun comes down even later, and you have only a couple hours of dark at that period. So they want to have an inspiration about these northern lights for the summer. So I think I have pre-ordered the number 12, 13 and 14 issues, so I will get it. The submissions are until October 14th. We are October 20th as I'm filming that, so you still have 4 days if you intend to submit a pattern. And the 52 weeks of Easy Knits, it's still going on. The submission calls are still going on until November 7th, so there is a bit more time for that. And I will get the 52 weeks of Easy Knits because I did enjoy very much the 52 weeks of shawls, and I will get that one too. Once again, I like their universe. I like the pattern they produce and they publish. I like that very much, and I will get what they are doing. So, still speaking of Len magazine, I have pre-ordered a book that they made in collaboration with La Bien-Aimée. So La Bien-Aimée has collected, let me see that I am not mistaken, I have 13 in mind, but maybe it's not 13, 14. So La Bien-Aimée has collected during the first lockdown in France 14 patterns that you can knit with worsted weight yarns. You can go to both La Bien-Aimée or Laine magazine Instagram to see some pictures, or the site, their website too, pictures of the patterns that are going to be into this book. I pre-ordered it because what I saw really interested me very much, and I'm not much used to knitting with worsted yarn weights, so I think it's gonna be a good inspiration for me, because when I was younger I used to be knitting with heavier yarns, even for colorway and sweaters and things. To me, when I was young and in France, knitting was for heavy sweaters for the winter time, or socks. So in between there was not really any kind of world for me that I discovered. And so I'm not much used to knitting with worsted weight. La Bien-Aimée has released a very interesting line of worsted weight yarns that are called Cory worsted, with very interesting colorways that she's making. She's dyeing herself or with her team. And so I thought that having a collection of these patterns with worsted weight yarns would be of some inspiration for me, and that would, maybe bring me to knitting with that type of yarn weight. So I'm in waiting mode for now on that point. I'm not sure I have, I do not know. Okay, release and shipping starts mid-November, November 19th. So I'll be waiting for that, and I'll talk about it whenever it comes. And if I decide to knit anything from it, or if I just want to have the book and look at it and be happy with it, just having, looking at it. So that's it for today. Almost half hour, so that's okay. Once again, these are the news that have caught my attention and that are making me happy, because we need to actively place happiness in our lives, especially in those darker times with all the global events that are surrounding us and that are coming upon us. We have to actively decide where to find happiness and place happiness in our lives. So until next time, please find happiness, place happiness into your life, be happy, happy knitting, and I will see you next week. Thank you.